Hi friends, in our time together today, I'm sharing one of my practice sessions of Merrily Kiss the Quaker, also called Merrily Kissed the Quaker, Merrily Danced the Quaker, Merrily Danced the Quaker's Wife, among other names. I actually recently introduced this great slide, and I'll put a link to that video at the top and at the end of this one. In case you haven't accessed that, you have a chance to find it easily. I'll also add a link at the top of the notes to this video so that you could access the page on my website from which to download the music and tabs, if you use those and if you haven't done that. In our time together today, I'm practicing on my Howard Low D and the Tony Dixon tunable polymer high D. That's the DX004. Now, the reason I'm using the Howard is because, well, I use the Howard a lot. And the reason I'm using the Dixon is this is a fairly new whistle to me. I've had the single piece polymer, the DX001, I believe, but I wanted the tunable so I could share that. And this is probably the best, my opinion, the best value for money if you want an inexpensive high D whistle that plays well, that you could learn on and just have a great whistle, then this should be like right on your list. Now, when I do practice a tune, I often use different, particularly low D whistles, because they each have different tone qualities. Now, you may not have that luxury, and if you don't, that's perfectly fine. But different tunes have different feels, and sometimes a whistle will marry with that feel better than another. Anyway, and also, if you've been with me a while, you know that when I share a practice session, I'm sharing my progress along the continuum of learning the core of the tune, getting comfortable with the core of the tune, starting to work on ornaments and expression, getting comfortable that, and working on improving the speed and getting all that up into play. And I'm rarely saying this is really where I am on the tune and I'm perfectly happy with it. I'd like to share down here because I want you to have a learning experience from my learning experience. I want to be able to think out loud for you about what I'm doing and what I'm thinking and why I'm playing the tune the way I am. Now, when I make decisions about playing a tune, I do so not just based on, gee, what is Scott thinking about this? There's a history of a tune, there's a feel of a tune, the flow of the tune. You need to go and listen to a variety of people playing this. I've listened to a bunch of different groups playing this. One of our friends and I were having a conversation. One of the more popular versions is the Planxty version, the group Planxty, that is. And look that up, and it's a lot of fun, and that influences the way a lot of people play this tune. I want to be influenced by the traditional flow of the tune, by the way people play it. So I'll listen to tons of different people doing that. But when I'm experimenting with ornaments, I then have all that in my head from listening to people, and then I'm diving into seeing what the tune really feels like for me. And I call that experimenting. There's a lot of trial and error. When I listen to people play this specific tune, Merrily Kiss the Quaker, a lot of folks on the whistle even are playing it fairly straight and punching certain sections. There's often less ornamentation than I expected, which is interesting because it's a driving tune, and on the whistle you're expected to keep that melody flowing, particularly if you're playing a high whistle. Now, the reason I throw in a low whistle and a high whistle practice is sometimes for me, experimenting with something on a high, I could do a little easier, whichever, on the high whistle. And then I try and transpose that to the low. But often the low and the high get different feels. So a lot of times I might expect, like in that second, the tune has 3 bits. I would expect a little, there's a repeated note. I would have expected often, if I had not listened to a bunch of people play that, I would expect a roll in the middle of that repeat or a cut or tap there. What I found is a lot of people are just punching that double and to accentuate the rhythm, and then when you're starting to step down out of it, you're ornamenting more. Interesting. I'm actually going to experiment with the tune on the low D first and then move to the high D. Now, one other quick comment on this tune is that it is a slide, and so it's pretty quick. So set your target pace pretty quick on the tune, and then build your ability over core of the tune, ornamentation, pick up speed, core of the tune, ornamentation, build it toward a target pace of pretty fast. So anyway, let me jump in. I'm going to stand so you can watch my hands while I'm experimenting and practicing, and I'll talk some while I do it. All right. Okay, so Merrily Kiss the Quaker has 3 parts. They each repeat. Each part's pretty quick. So I'm going to play through at a steady pace and think through some ornamentation. This is early ornamentation practice for me. I haven't spent a lot of time. Now, I'm going to stop myself right away. It's hard to ornament up to that C. It might be easier to ornament the following B after the A. I don't know, I'll see. Okay, that's not bad. Remember, my personal feeling on this is to accentuate the core of the tune. And ornamentation and expression should accentuate the tune, not mask it. And then when you get to that end of the end of each of the 3 parts, you've got that. Now, particularly if you listen to a lot of pipers playing this, you're going to get a good roll and maybe a tap after, and I like to try and emulate that. What I did actually there, so that I added a little bit more twiddly in it, I kind of used a crayon above, even though you normally do that off of a D. Do that and then finish with a tap. And I want to do like a 2-finger tap there. Yeah, not as successful there, but I can often slap it harder that way. I'm going to pretend it's the second time through. And this is what I mean that I'm hearing a lot. And however you choose to end that, where the G's repeat, do something that's going to ornament and punch to accentuate the ending there. So what I'm thinking there is, you could. I kind of want to do that, but a lot of people are just punching those repeats. Remember, if it's a fast tune, you're going to have to do something that is a driving force, particularly if you're playing with other people. The whistle is often going to be one of the driving forces, and so that's why you might be getting yeah, I'm okay with that. These early practices, my brain's just going a mile a minute. So let me move to the C part. Now, the reason I ornamented that just a little bit more is because when I'm listening to people play it, it's like the whole tune builds. Start off with that first bit. And then you kind of, it's not really powerful yet. And you get to the middle bit. And then that actually becomes a little bit more driven, and that's what you're doing there. And then you could get a little more carried away in the C part. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So that's why I like to share these practice sessions, because my brain's going a mile a minute. I've listened to all these people play it. I've kind of taken some notes while I'm doing that as to what I've experienced, and then I'm trying to implement some of that. Let me just run through it on the Tony Dixon tunable polymer, and we'll wrap it up today. So learning a tune, wow, you're kind of wrestling with a number of things, You're wrestling with how fast can I play this, because it's a slide. See, I'm getting a little fumbly there. How fast can I play it cleanly, but also how quickly can I play it with ornamentation? And the core of the tune's going to get a little lost if you over ornament it. And you noticed when I was doing that just now, and this is going to go back to the video where I introduced it. Remember, I said if you find a spot where you're stumbling, go back to that spot and rework it. And I will do that a number of times. I thought I had it down, but obviously not. Although I could blame it on the fact that I haven't played the Tony Dixon much. No, that's not a good excuse. All right, let's try it out on a high D. Sometimes I get a different feel for the tune. I'm doing about the same thing, I think. Am I? Huh. Sorry, let me try that again. I'll do it a little slowly so you can see it better. Okay. Yeah, so 3. Okay, that's good. I like that. So ornament into the A. Okay, and then you're punching, and then cut back into the next A for the step down. Cut on the G. Crane off the D. And a little slide into that last A. No tap, sorry. And that wasn't clean, but okay. Yeah, I'm beginning. That's kind of. Let me try it once. Ah. Ah. I'm quite happy. I expected to crash and burn a little bit more than that. That's one of the reasons I say learn the core of the tune, because then when you know the tune, you can mess around with it and you can actually intentionally add ornaments because you know the tune. You're not learning, you're not wrestling with those two things at the same time. I think it's a faster ramp to learning a tune. You learn the core, start playing with ornaments, and then do that. So I'm real happy with where I am. I am going to have to work on it a little bit more, particularly on my low D, and get my fingers going there. My friends, I so hope this is helpful. What are your favorite versions of this wonderful tune? I know I've heard a couple already. I hope this has been helpful for you to help you think through how you're going to play this tune. If so, please like the video. It helps the algorithms of YouTube share our channel because we're a community of folks helping each other learn and grow. If you're brand new here, thanks for joining us, and I'd love for you to subscribe and join this amazing community of people helping each other learn to play the whistle. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling, my friends.